This video is brought to you by Currently. Save time by skipping the wait at a charging station. Currently delivers charging to your car, your home, the office, wherever you want it. Download the app and use promo code OUTOFSPEC and get 30 days of free charging. Hello and welcome to another Out of Spec Reviews video. That's me over here in the BMW. This is the BMW i4 M50, and I gotta tell you, I have fallen in love with this car. Ignore the front end. This thing shreds hard. The powertrain's been amazing, and we have a ton of videos coming on this, my impressions, comparing it to our Tesla Model 3 performance, etc. However, we are just rolling up to Clear Detailing here in Windsor, Colorado, where we've shot now 2 videos in the last week or so. We've done a Model S Plaid paint evaluation on our new Tesla. We've also compared that paint to the Rivian R1T and to a base Honda Civic, which actually was like super interesting. The Honda did pretty well, as you would expect from a mass-produced car. I've actually left the Model S here for the last week with Colton, and he has been working on it nonstop every day for, I think, 7 days. Like full-on paint, making it perfect project. And we're here to pick it up. It's currently 9:04 p.m. We're about to head out to Europe for a month, and so we have some stuff we want to do. We're basically going to mount some Martian wheels in there, but I want to see the paint, so let's go get our first impressions of seeing the car. I'm basically retaking delivery of my Model S Plaid. I really haven't even driven it yet, so I'm super excited. So let me park up the i4. Great adaptive steering ratio on this particular car. Dead silent when you turn all the fake BMW sound things off. And I've just really liked this. We also need to run to the charging station because I'm down to 9% on this. Drew, our friend from Martian Wheels, is up here as well to help us collect the Plaid because, of course, we're throwing a set of Martian wheels on it. He's down to 10 or 15% in this car, and Colton's Audis are over here. He also has the Model 3 Performance. So cool cars all around. My Model S is just inside behind the door. I haven't seen it yet. I'm literally just rolling up. So the guys are inside. I'm gonna walk in and take a look at my, I hope, totally perfect Tesla Model S Plaid to retake delivery, if you will. All right, so come with me. Let's go inside. Here, of course, Clear Detailing. The one thing I have to mention about this shop, this is a low volume, high quality shop. Colton is the only employee. He's like, I can't hire anyone because no one will even work to our standards. So we're not talking like big Tesla detailing shop, PPF. No, this is like 1 car a week type place. And so I highly recommend you bring your car here, but there's a long wait, and schedule it in advance, and it's gonna come out, I assume, amazing. Let's take a look at the work done on my Tesla. Colton is, I would say, the best detailer in the area, and definitely among, you know, those top guys in the country that you hear about. So super happy to know Colton for years, of course, and to have him now work on one of my cars for the first time. Let's run inside. He's got the crazy lights in here. It's bright as day. Here's Timon over here. I guess we're gearing up for a photo shoot. I haven't seen the car yet. How does it look?
Amazing.
Really? Yeah. Okay. So these are the Martian MW05 wheels that we're going to be mounting onto the car. These have been coated. They're absolutely perfect. We have them wrapped, I think, in an AMG OE spec PS4S, a Michelin Pilot Sport 4S tire with the foam on the inside, which should help. But look at these things, chunky boys. And yep, so a square setup, one on each side. But I guess now it's time to look over at the car. Hey, Colton. Hey, Drew. Hey, they're over here. So I haven't even looked at it. Let's take a look. Oh, well, first impression is that it's really nice and clean. Yeah. Second impression is like, where did all of the scratches here? Because remember how bad this was?
It was super bad, yeah.
And it just looks amazing. Now we got to get the Martians on here as soon as possible, and we will do that in this episode. But whoa. And then, of course, we had this little nub back here that we couldn't do anything about. But even actually, now that it's clean, you don't even really notice it.
You really don't. And check out the scratch on the door handle here. This was one of like the main areas. Made that look quite a bit better.
Whoa, so much better. So I imagine you just rounded off some of the edges there. But just like even coming back here on the tailgate, like, holy smokes, it's like a whole different color.
It's so deep and just like so glossy. It's amazing.
I am thrilled, and like the taillights have this so much. I don't even know what to say. This is amazing. This was not easy.
No.
And
this
so
was a very tricky vehicle to detail, but yeah, overall results, I mean, I'm thrilled with it. I hope you are too, and it's going to just be awesome.
I'm sort of kind of blown away that it came out this nice. I mean, the car looked pretty good naked, and it definitely looked black and stuff. This is like just perfect. I've never like walked around and seen the lights in the hood like this.
You can just like look directly into it and see like every crisp detail. I mean, there is some orange peel still. But,
Yep.
I mean, we weren't looking to remove that, but it is just like crystal clear.
Yeah, the idea for this particular detail was not to go concourse level. We could have done that. You could have, machined off the paint and made no orange peel. This is going to be a driver. It's going to be going to track days. It's going to be doing, long road trips with us. And so the idea was ultimate protection, but also trying to make it look as nice as possible. And now that, honestly, I kind of don't even want to drive it. We have like this perfect starting point. I can kind of maintain it. So what do you say we definitely get the Martian wheels mounted on, we take a look in its final state, and then we should talk about the process, everything you've done to it at the end or towards the end, because this car has just been touched on for like a week now, every day, right?
It's been a process. I probably have well upwards of 40, getting close to 50 hours in this, but worth it.
Yeah, well, I hope our viewers on YouTube will appreciate it as well.
Yeah.
And so let's get the proper wheels on it just over here, mounted up. We'll get it pulled out so we can see what it kind of looks like in the light. And then we'll go through everything that's been done. Well, we've just pulled the Plaid forward because we have to complete the transformation going from these 19-inch stock wheels, which actually I'm kind of excited to keep because for long distance road tripping and some efficiency testing, it's always good to have a stock set around. But man, do they look terrible on the car. Just look at this over here. This is not the way to be. So of course we're going to be throwing on these Martian MW05s. I've already explained we're going 10.5-inch wide on each. Drew, why are we going 10.5-inch on each? What am I trying to say?
On both ends?
Yes,
maybe?
There we go.
These cars have a little bit of understeer naturally, so this will help reduce that, and then obviously you can rotate your tires. Yeah.
So we are really kind of pushing the limits with this size of wheel in terms of fitment. So we needed just a couple mils.
Yep. Yeah, pretty close with a 295 all around. So just a little tight on the inside. You can go even crazier than this, and then you need to start to modify suspension and alignment. Don't need to do that here.
Yeah, street car.
Just a little spacer, and we're good to go.
Cool. Well, let's see what they look like as we get them mounted up. One last modification, sort of the cherry on top, though, is we're not going to be using these sort of stock. What would you call these? Lug bolts?
They're nuts.
Nuts.
So Teslas have.
Shows you how much I know.
Yeah. That would be a lug nut.
Yeah, like that. Okay. Anyway.
And those are made out of steel.
Okay.
Just not the nicest to go along with your new wheels. So we'll put some titanium ones on there for you.
Oh, nice, nice foam. The real unveil here. So these are titanium with a black finish.
Yep, exactly.
Looks pretty dang sick.
So if you really want to bling out.
Wow, they really don't weigh too much, do they?
Stronger and lighter for sure.
Okay, well that's cool. That'll look good. Can we get the wheel kind of mounted up so we can get an idea of what it'll look like here? And then we got to do all the final photos. So Colton, where can they go? What's your Instagram to see the photos?
Just straight on Clear Detailing.
Clear Detailing on Instagram, and all of the high-res photos will be up very soon. Already a massive improvement having that wheel next to the Model S. Oh my goodness. That looks freaking mega. Compared to this wheel.
Oh, and can you give me those lugs? Yeah.
Yes, we have to hand select the lug nuts.
You're like a caddy.
For your breaker bar, would you like a 9 iron or like a 5?
And what do you torque these things to?
It's a 129.
Yeah, pretty hefty.
Yep.
Wow. Yeah, my car's 80.
Yeah, but this weighs a lot more than your Miata, Jordan. We'll get all 4 wheels mounted on with the special lug nuts.
Learn something every day.
Learn something every day. That's right. I actually knew that, but it's didn't do a good job of showing that, did I? Here we go. Is that a Ryobi? You know you're a real man when you use a Ryobi. Hell yeah, brother. Right, Timon?
Yes, sir.
We are Ryobi for life. Got 3 wheels mounted now. Number 4 about to go on. This is why we bring Drew around, pit crew. He's a one-man shop. He can pretty much beat anyone on a track, and he can change wheels and tires. I don't even know what a lug bolt versus a lug nut is. So here we go. She's going to be down on the ground. First time ever in the new form. It's a very beautiful shot you have there, Jordan. Are you doing that on purpose?
Michael Bay. Wait, how do you open your door right now?
Well, right now I've been doing it with my sweatshirt so I don't leave fingerprints, but you can't rub anything. I'm going to open my door very gently. Basically just put it in drive, move it, and you're going to see this thing settle down, hopefully.
Looks good.
Stance Nation, baby.
So yeah, let's see.
20s were the right call.
This is what I've been waiting for like ever, to see a black Model S lowered down. Yes! Still too high in the rear. Looks good.
Lowering links.
Lowering links.
Sit in the rear spot.
Yeah, if I sit back there, it'll. Wow. So that's the look. That's pretty sinister. What would Uli say? Feisty?
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that? Yeah, that's nice. And here Timon goes, just pulling it back into the Lightroom so we can get some more shots, evaluate the paint, but now that we have the proper wheels on it. Wow. Holy smokes. Look at these things. That is what I'm talking about. That's hot. Yep. Jordan, your thoughts on how the car turned out?
Black on black on black is like perfect.
Yeah. Colton, cheers to you, sir. Nice work.
Thank you.
50 hours of work into that thing.
Yeah.
It's just a crazy amount. Why'd you go so overboard? It's how you operate. It's just crazy. Wow, just level of detail. Timon, thanks for getting some photos of it. Now that you've actually had the most chance to look at it up close, what do you think, Timon?
It's stunning.
Yeah. Model S looks great all these years on. I hate to say it, but the car's never going to look this good again. As soon as we pull it out here, it's going to get all dirty. But just looking up close here in the paint work, just amazing. Absolutely stunning. Holy smokes. And what we'll do is we'll go on a quick walk around tour here in just a moment with Colton. We'll talk about sort of the processes that he took to get the paint correctly, then to clear the paint of any leftover polishes by using an isopropyl alcohol wipe down, or actually maybe even a double wipe down, and then some coatings on top. And yeah, just, step after step after step. The paint fought him the whole way through. It's a really hard paint to work with in the fact that it's a really soft paint. So the way he described it to me was it's almost like a warm butter. And so we have to talk a little bit about that. And then what we're going to do is we're actually going to post a full detailing series on this car. And I'm not sure exactly when. It might be a little bit of time from now, but we are thinking about starting a new detailing channel with Colton presenting it. Hell yeah. And I think the first series might actually be the detailing process on this car because he filmed step of the way. Timon, what kind of photo position is this?
So I don't need my own reflection in the photo.
Colton, dude, what in the world did you do to this car? Because genuinely, I've never seen such clean and deep black with honestly no spider webs, swirl marks, whatever you want to call it. It's just paint,
Yeah,
which is insane.
pure black.
I've never seen anything like that.
Yeah, so this definitely took a while. It fought me the whole way. This is probably one of the trickiest paints I've dealt with, being that it was just absolutely as soft as can be. Now, when we talk about it being soft, something like Mercedes paint that I've worked with in the past is very hard. So you throw all the compound at it, and it's literally hazes, little to none. It was like literally a polish on a compounding pad, and it was just pure haze. So I've been fighting haze the entire way.
And so initially we brought the car in and we did like a paint look through, right?
Yep.
But even after you did polishing and then the isopropyl alcohol wipe down, you found so many more defects in the paint.
Yeah, so we actually rewashed it, and then before I do anything touching a buffer to the paint, I like to just get a clean slate. So wipe it down with IPA, isopropyl alcohol. I use kind of a coating prep. Same thing. It doesn't matter, but really brought out all of the kind of imperfections. And I was quite surprised actually to see the difference of when we looked at it and pulling it in the bay here. And it was like, okay, wow. My initial kind of idea was to spot paint correct those areas, like fix. There was a good sanding mark here. Over on that hood, as we looked at, there was just so many scratches there.
I remember just seeing the line of scratches up the side of the hood, and obviously none of that now, but you found a lot more than those.
Absolutely. So again, it's being in the detailing aspect, you really need to come at it with an approach and be willing to change that approach. So I kind of had to like really think through this process on don't throw a ton of compound at it, because on the back end, we're gonna have a ton of refining to do. So I kind of went through, mixed exactly how I needed that, and I mean, the results are just absolutely insane. I'm so happy.
I'm just taking a quick walk around now to show the viewers, and the interesting thing about the lighting in here, it may look cool, but these lights are designed to bring out defects. These are not soft lights to make the car look great. So this is designed so we can walk through and we can literally follow this stream of light right here, and you can see zero defects. Really, the only thing you can see are my fingerprints on the door handle from when I opened it, and now I've been using, obviously, my shirt to open the door handle. And then I remember scratches around the charge port. Look at that, just perfection.
Yeah, the charge port just came out stunning. Again, this is very soft. Typically, I would honestly tell you that the paint was softer than that. So
really,
that's what I've been dealing with the entire time on this. So just really controlling residue. That's a whole big broad topic we can get into on a later video. Residue control was so critical on this. The paint was just so soft. But at the end of the day, I'm thrilled with how it came out.
Well, me too. I'm honestly sort of blown away because the car looked good when we had it before to the naked eye. I was like, wow, that looks hot and black. This looks like a different car to me.
It does.
This is like the whole next level in terms of just the depth. You know, the term I keep using is it literally looks wet.
Yeah, exactly. And a lot of that does help with the coatings as well. I mean, those add just so much gloss to it. So again, we did a crystal serum light on this. This is from G-Technic, and then we top that with XO-V4. I find this is a great base coat, top coat. It is just absolutely stunning. I did fight a little bit of doing the ceramic coating because again, this paint just shows everything. I was getting streaking issues, but at the end of the day, experience kind of took over, did a little tricks here and there, and I mean, goodness sakes.
So what would you say are some of the challenges of working with a paint this soft? And maybe even before that, why is this paint so soft compared to other automakers that you've worked on?
So I would say by far this is the softest I've worked on. Non-metallic blacks are just in general decently soft. You can kind of go through them, and honestly, Kyle, I've worked a lot with Audi and Porsche, and you can take the same car that comes in on the same truck, the same car or two different cars will literally react totally different. So it's kind of on a car by car basis. The biggest thing with working on vehicles is to understand how paint works, how to properly polish it, do test spots. I went through, probably spent an hour to an hour and a half just doing test spots on this to get my compound dialed in, my speed dialed in, my pressure. I mean, those all change refinement, how amazing.
And where
it
would
looks.
you do those test spots? Probably in a place that's hard to see walking up to the car, I would imagine.
For me, I do it right where you can see it.
Oh, really? Interesting. That's cool.
Honestly, I either start, my typical spot is the passenger hood. I just always start there. I just always have. I don't know why.
Yeah.
You know, if you're going to go for it, you're going for it. You're in it. So may as well just make it happen.
Well, I mean, I'm seriously blown away. Of course, like everything on camera just will never come through as to what we're looking at right now. And you know, I knew it was going to look nice. I've seen your work before.
Yeah.
You know, you're known in the detailing community as being one of the best and most meticulous detailers. But this is just a whole nother level that I've never seen before. And it's just totally insane. I couldn't be more thrilled. I hate to say it, but we got some more black cars for you to do here pretty soon.
You know, I'm up for the challenge. I think, again, this is kind of at my peak right now from what I've seen.
Yeah.
I've done pretty close to 500 cars now. So, and in this depth of going like crazy on them. So
yeah,
I've seen a few cars, been with all the manufacturers. This is definitely the most tricky. But I mean, goodness sakes, look at it.
What would you say to someone who's maybe purchasing a car with this paint, a Tesla, you know, solid black paint? What would you recommend that they do so that, you know, not everyone is going to have access to such an incredible detailer or a detailer even has the time that you did, right? Because there's no way you could have gotten this car looking good in a day.
No.
And so what do you say to those people? Is a little bit going to be good, or do you have to go the full week-long sort of, you know, massive attention to detail with this paint?
Well, first off, I would say maybe order a white one. I'm just kidding.
Well, save some money on the detailing and the paint.
Exactly. And all jokes aside, I mean, black cars, as you can see, like, look at this thing. It is just stunning. In this instance, I mean, the tricky part with this paint is anytime you touch it with anything, it was just like so hazy. You've seen kind of some detailers here and there that'll do a one-step, just kind of hit it and forget it. The problem with this is we had such deep defects, so we had to get those out, but then you had to go refine that. And even the refining was really fighting me on that haze. And this was like a jeweling polish with the softest pad possible. So super tricky. I don't necessarily think you need to go this crazy, but if you're going to do it right is kind of my whole premise. Like, you know, you can kind of skip some stuff here and there, but down the road, I mean, this thing is just going to be as good as possible.
And I was explaining at the beginning of our video to our audience that, like, you're not a volume shop.
No.
You can't handle, you know, 50 cars a week.
No.
You're like, okay, definitely bring your car here, but be prepared to, you know, sort of step up to the plate. This is a full process that you work with with the owner, would do a lot of talking about what the car is going to be used for.
Exactly.
You know, because you detail for the use case of the vehicle. And for me, I'm totally thrilled because it's great to find such a expert in your field to be able to work with. Like, for example, when I talk to Drew about wheels, you can nerd out about what design's good or bad. I have no clue. I'm just like, yeah, they look fucking great. And like here on the paint, you know, you're just total deep expert.
Yeah.
So actually, speaking on the wheels, can you explain what you did to these Martian MW05s? Because they look great coming out of the factory, and now you also put a little something on them as well.
Yeah, so the big thing with these, both Kyle and Drew asked me to keep these very, very satin. I use the G-Technic line of coatings because they specifically don't make things overly shiny. You can get into some issues where if you either leave the coating on too long or use the improper coating, it's going to make these shiny. Now, what's cool about the G-Technic wheel armor on here is they are high temp rated. So Kyle, I know, is probably going to track this at some point.
Absolutely.
The calipers, the wheels, the coating on there is going to be able to withstand that. Heavy brake dust, I'm assuming, is going to be on here. So it just helps clean it super, super nice.
Yeah, that's what I'm really looking forward to. And a little hint of a video to come in the future is we are going to trash these stock brakes sort of as the next available project because we made a big order with Mountain Pass Performance. Cool. Love those guys, and a lot of fun stuff coming for this car coming down the line. But holy smokes, just blown away with the quality here. Can't thank you enough. Your expertise really shines through literally with this paint work. And yeah, just like, I kind of just want to leave it here.
I get that a lot. It's,
Yeah.
you know, people get to this stage and they're like, gosh, I don't want to drive it. And I'm like, well, that's the whole point. You know, we've got it protected. So the nice thing is, I kind of mentioned to Kyle off camera, I'd like to see this particular car every month or so. I want to do a hand wash, make sure the coating is looking absolutely perfect. The big thing with getting a car, especially in a deep black like this, is to have a process on how to wash it after. So there is no point in me doing all this work if you're going to take it through a brush car wash.
We'll never do that.
Absolutely just makes no sense. So this is going to be where Kyle's going to take it through the auto wash, which is a touchless car wash, absolutely perfect with a coating. And then every month or so, I'll get my hands on this, just make sure everything's looking proper, give it a nice refresh. And honestly, you're going to be surprised. It's going to stay like this, especially after we do, you know, in-depth full hand washes, clean the wheels properly. It'll just look mint.
Yeah, can't wait to see. It's kind of a big responsibility to keep this paint looking nice, but you know, the car's going to get driven. It's going to go to track days. It's going to sit outside. It might go in a garage once in a while, but you know, that's sort of the point. We did a protection detail, and now we're ready to have some fun. So with that, let's pull it out of here. We actually have to go bring it to the charging station, charge it up a little bit. We're at about half state of charge, but we got some driving to do with this thing.
Perfect.
And yeah, just can't thank you enough. And I'm sure you'll be very happy to get this car out of here, because it sounds like
it's bittersweet.
Yeah,
you know,
it's a difficult
it's
project.
great getting into this point, but I always like to see him go.
Yeah, awesome, of course. And then we'll have all the details if someone wants to come to your shop down below. But you know, like we had mentioned, not a volume shop. We're talking super high quality. So if you have a serious car that you really want to be perfect, no question, this is the place for you. All right, well, what do you say, Timon? We get this thing out of here and send her home. Damn, Timon, launch it. Yeah, straight into the I-4. Who's gonna drive what home? I kind of want to drive the Plaid. I haven't really driven this much. Timon's actually been the one who's driven almost all of the miles on this car. I think I've only put maybe 20 or 30 on it.
Yep, I've put about 200 miles on this thing.
What do you think about it?
It's fine. The yoke kind of sucks, but you get used to it after a while.
Yeah, the yoke does kind of suck.
And now it's acceptable to drive with the wheels.
Yeah, now you won't be seen with the baby Aero wheels anymore. You'll be seen with these things, and they are juicy. But I do think, Drew, what do you think? Maybe a little spacer in the rear?
You could, yeah, you could go out a little bit, sure.
I think that would be cool. I mean, it's pretty flush right now. Yeah, we need like a bit more. Yeah, so you also make 11.5-inch wide wheels?
Well, we have done a lot of different things, and yeah, custom wheels for the Mountain Pass guys, Team PGR. So yeah, that's what that was, 20 by 11.5.
But massive like suspension changes to fit them.
Exactly. That car has nothing really stock underneath it. So
yeah, you wouldn't run that. This is about as, especially on the front end, as aggressive as you could really realistically go.
Yeah, I mean, beyond that, you start to just need to do a lot more negative camber, which is good for these cars anyway, but yeah, depends on what they want to do.
Yeah, most people I think are going to be like me, just kind of cruising it around, launching it at stoplights, causing mayhem.
And then the staggered, 9.5, 10.5 is fine. That works out well.
Sure, makes sense.
More efficient.
Yep, more efficient. Yeah, this is not, and our audience will ask, this is not the efficiency setup.
This should really improve the handling.
Right, it's a handling improvement. We could go an efficiency setup if we wanted to.
Yeah, absolutely.
But we wanted the Plaid to be the crazy handler.
Have traction.
Yeah, have traction. This car really needed more tire. I mean, it was just an understeering monster on the old tires. So this is going to be awesome. And yeah, really looking forward to driving it out of here. I will avoid all the puddles. and
sprinklers.
I'll make sure I don't follow any cars closely. Cool. Let's head out. Well, there we go. Just so thrilled with this car. Feels no different in here at the moment, but man, I know it looks a lot better on the outside. Can't thank Colton enough. Clear detailing. They're just awesome. And yeah, this thing's looking ready for the road now. I was just checking to see if the wheels rub, but nope, we're in. I'm in the lowest and went full lock and no rub. Lock to lock, no rub.
That's
I mean, you did your math. We just came over here to the Electrify America DC fast charging station, charging up the i4. Thanks for driving that over, Timon. This is one hell of a nice car. And this is also one hell of a nice car, Drew's Model 3 Performance with full coilovers. You drove this up because Drew was driving the BMW. What did you think of this?
It was just as noisy as any other Model 3.
They are loud, aren't they?
But it felt smooth. It gripped a lot more than yours, it felt like, at least.
Yeah, well, I mean, and this isn't even the race setup wheels. You should see the wheels that he was running for the track day this weekend. Dude, they come out to like here.
Yeah, they look sweet.
Yeah, they look great that way. But this is actually an interesting point I just wanted to bring up here. A lot of cars like Mustang Mach-E, Ford F-150 Lightning, Mazda MX-30, I'm trying to think of other ones, a Volkswagen ID4 to an extent, that shows you miles per hour, don't show you charging speed inside of the car. And if you roll up to a charger in the case like this, these screens are a little bit buggy. You can see it says, please unplug, like thinking you're not charging, but this thing's actually charging. It's locked right now at over 120 kilowatts with the Tesla to CCS adapter, the South Korean adapter right here. So this is the official Tesla one. And yeah, that just shows you need to have connectivity, and it needs to show you kilowatt charging rate in every new electric car. Anyway, Drew just took the Plaid out for a quick rip, make sure the wheels are all good, no rubbing issues, because it is a tight fit. We went, oh, that's what I wanted, maximum. Yeah, here he comes over this way. Nice. Nope, that is a Ford Edge, Timon.
I only saw LEDs. I looked through the bush.
Yeah, can you imagine mistaking a Ford Edge for a Tesla Model S?
That's the biggest compliment they've ever heard.
Well, I'm just thrilled with the Model S. Came out great. Love these two cars. Living the dream. Couldn't ask for anything better. Thank you guys so much for watching another out of spec reviews video. Just a quick one. The Model S is done until we hit stage 2 when we get back from Europe, which is big brakes and some other modifications, and then it'll be done, maybe. We'll see. Nothing's ever done, is it? Kind of fun to get back into modifying cars and getting them perfect. So we leave you now from an EA charging station without the car that was featured in today's video, because Drew's out drifting in around. Who knows what he's up to? See you on the next one. Bye-bye.